Hey dear subscribers, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to learn some important questions which are based on refraction. This is an extra question practice based on refraction, and I hope this will clear out your concepts more easily. Let's get started with today's lecture. Question 1 is, as light travels from a rarer to denser medium. Mind this, these are very important. Ki light is traveling from which medium to which medium. So whenever you have a question wherein light is traveling from one medium to another, it is very important to read from which medium to which medium. Okay. So here the light is traveling from a rarer medium to denser medium. So what will happen? Now it's a MCQ based question. We know what is an MCQ based question. There'll be 4 options associated with the question. You have to choose the best out of the 4 which suits the question. Okay, so there are 2 ways where you know whether it's a conceptual question, then you should know the concept and the answer is right in front of you. You have to just choose amongst the 4. And the second way is, if you don't know, then you can go from the options as well. And if you don't understand in which direction to think, options always helps you. Right? So like in this case, now we know if it is traveling from rarer to denser medium. Now, in which direction do we have to think about? Because there are various ways in which we can think when light travel from a rarer to denser medium. So when we look at the option, we'll come to know that they are talking about the velocity and the wavelength of the light. So in that manner, we have to think. Right? So we know that whenever a light travels from a rarer to denser medium, this was a rarer, this was a denser medium, the light ray moves towards the normal. Right? Why does the light ray move towards the normal? Because uska speed या velocity decreases in a denser medium. Right? Now we know that speed is equals to, we've learned this formula. So somehow we know that there is a relation between speed or velocity and the wavelength of the light. Speed equals to frequency into wavelength. Right? So if there is any change in the speed or the velocity of light, there has to be certain change in the wavelength of the light as well. Now, and that goes parallel, that means in proportion to each other. So what I mean is, if the velocity increases or decreases, same will happen with the wavelength as well. So here we know that when a light travels from rarer to denser, its velocity decreases. If its velocity decreases, that means its wavelength is also going to decrease. So that means B and C both are correct. So the option D is both B and C. So yes, absolutely correct that when a light travels from a rarer to denser medium, its velocity decreases as well as its wavelength decreases. So option D, which is both B and C. Okay. So students, there is one more way. If in hurry, what we tend to do is, हमें पता है कि velocity decrease हो जाएगा, then we don't see or we just neglect this option only. So once you have to see the options given to you in the question, because once you see ना कि there is one option which include 2 options altogether in it, then there might be a chance कि वो answer सही हो सकता है. So that means you will have to think for both B and C. If both are correct, then answer is going to be D. Else any one answer is going to be the right. Any one option is going to be selected. Right? So the answer here is, correct option is D, which is both B and C. That is velocity as well as wavelength decrease. Moving to question number 2, which is the angle of incidence. We know angle of incidence is represented by I, and the refraction are equal. See what they are saying, angle of incidence and refraction has to be equal in a transparent glass slab when the value of I is. So they are talking about a glass slab. In the glass slab, when can angle of incidence and refraction be equal? Now, when they are equal, then what is the value of that particular angle जब ये दोनों equal हो जाता है? So we have option 0, 45, 90 or depend upon the material of the slab. So now the basic concept. See, light is traveling in this way from air to water, or from air to slab we are talking here right now. So instead of water, we'll consider this to be a slab. Okay. अभी हमें पता है कि अगर किसी एंगल पे वो ट्रैवल करता है, let's say this is the angle, right, incident ray, then since it is traveling from air to slab, then that means will bend towards the normal. तो angle of incidence और refraction तो equal हो ही नहीं सकता in this case. ऐसा हम कुछ भी angle और भी choose कर ले, this is always going to happen. That means that light is going to change its path. Light are going to change its path, then there will be the change in the angle of incidence and refraction, right? So now there are two things. Either मतलब कोई और value तो नहीं हो सकता from the normal. Then we know that if the light ray incident along the normal, right? That means if angle of incidence is 0, then what would happen? Angle of refraction is also 0, it doesn't deviate. So in only this case, when the light ray passes normally to the surface, normally to the surface doesn't mean कि angle of incidence 90 है. Remember, I have mentioned it earlier, angle of incidence is the angle between the incident ray and normal. Don't take it as the angle between the incident ray and the surface of the medium. No, it's going to be between the angle of incidence and, between the incident ray and normal. Now, since the normal and incident ray here are coinciding, that means the angle of incidence is 0, right? If angle of incidence is 0, that means angle of refraction भी 0 ही होता है, क्योंकि जब वो normally travel करता है तो अपना path deviate नहीं होता है. So the angle for which both angle of incidence and refraction are 0 is 0 degrees. Is same is 0 degrees. So our answer is 0 degrees. Right? You remember this thing that जब light ray normally pass करता है तभी वो deviate नहीं करता है अपने path से. If it does not deviate, in that case angle of incidence और refraction same होता है. Now what is that value? वो 0 होती है. Don't get confused between 90 and 0. I've already cleared it to you. 90 का मतलब पता है क्या होगा कि incident ray अगर इस केस में हम माने तो वो surface के साथ में 90 डिग्री बना रही है. But angle of incidence is never considered with surface. Okay? Don't get confused. Moving on to question number 3. While tracing the path of ray of light passing through the glass slab as shown in the diagram, let us see the diagram. So ये diagram था, बोला कि जब हम trace करते हैं light ray का path, glass slab से जब light ray जाता है, then 4 different students interpreted the results in 4 different manner. Which of the result is correct? Okay, so if we will just scan at the options, we will see that they are talking in terms of the angle. So we have to study about angle. अब every option तो नहीं check करेंगे, तो क्या करेंगे? Because that will be very confusing कि ये इसके कौन सा angle किससे बड़ा है, कौन सा angle किसके बराबर है. What we will see, they've given us the diagram. You know, studying the diagram is always easy and better than to study all this, right? So we'll study it. हमें पता है कि जब हम एक rectangular glass slab का बात करते हैं, then since the light is traveling from air to glass, that means from rarer to denser, angle of refraction तो छोटा ही होगा angle of incidence से. And always since incident ray is parallel to emergent ray, angle of incidence and angle of emergence is going to be. The theoretical concept should be very much clear to you. तो ये questions, इस type के questions you can click in a minute, can be clicked in a minute. The angle of incidence और angle of emergence कहाँ पे equal है? So we have two cases. One is A and one is D. इन दोनों cases में angle of incidence is equals to angle of emergence. अब हमें चेक करना है कि इससे बड़ा एंगल ऑफ रिफ्रैक्शन होता है या छोटा. तो वी नो दैट व्हेनेवर द लाइट ट्रैवल फ्रॉम रेयर टू डेंसर इट मूव टुवर्ड्स द नॉर्मल, तो एंगल ऑफ रिफ्रैक्शन छोटा होता है एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंस से. सो वो ऑप्शन किधर है? ठीक. सी ए ग्रेटर देन और लेस देन साइन में कंफ्यूजन नहीं होना चाहिए. ओके, सो ऑप्शन बी इज एक्चुअली करेक्ट. तो ग्लास स्लैब का और एंगल्स की कहीं पे बात करें तो फर्स्ट थिंग टू चेक इज कि हमेशा ऐसा ही होता है दैट एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंस इज ऑलवेज इक्वल टू एंगल ऑफ इमर्जेंस. सो ऐसा ऑप्शन जहां होगा वो तो परफेक्टली करेक्ट होगा. देन यू हैव टू चेक विद एंगल ऑफ रिफ्रैक्शन. ओके, सो हियर द करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज डी, दैट इज एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंस इज इक्वल टू एंगल ऑफ इमर्जेंस and both of them are greater than angle of refraction. Okay, because light is traveling from rarer to denser medium. Moving on to question number 4. Explain why, and we had 2 parts for the question. First is an ink dot marking on a piece of paper appeared to be raised up when viewed under a glass slab. Okay. Second is a lemon kept in water in a glass tumbler appeared to be bigger than its actual size. Now, why does this happen? Okay, so let us see one by one. See, this point A is our ink dot, right? We are seeing it up from above the glass slab. Now, light is traveling from this point A, right? As soon as it reaches the surface, let us mark this as point O, right? From here, since the surface is changing, light ray is going to show refraction. कैसे refraction होगा from glass to air? From denser to rarer. That means it is moving away from the normal, right? Let the refracted ray be OB. Now, when we produce it backwards, because our eye always seen a straight line, instead of the ink dot at A, it will appear to be at A dash. This is just the same question as we have done in the applications of refraction, that why does a pencil appear to bend when view under any different surface, or in a tumbler, glass tumbler or water tumbler, right? So what is the explanation that we're going to write? This happens because of a refraction of light. So first you have to mention what is the phenomenon on which this is based. Now the ink dot appears to be raised because the ray of light AO, see this is AO, which is traveling from glass to air, bends away from the normal at the surface of separation of the two medium. So it bends away from the normal here. This refracted ray OB appears to come from A dash, and hence the ink dot appeared to be raised up and seen at A dash, which is not the actual position but a raised up position. Okay, this we also call as the apparent height. Apparent मतलब which is not in real. तो उसका real तो कितना height है, this one, but apparent कितना है, this one, which appears to be, जो हमें दिखता है. Okay, now similarly if you talk about this lemon, तो लेमन को जब हम ऐसे ग्लास टम्बलर में फिल कीप, देन विल सी कि उसका साइज ऐसा बड़ा दिखता है हमें. नाउ अगेन व्हाई? बिकॉज ऑफ द रिफ्रैक्शन. तो सी इनसाइड द ग्लास टम्बलर दिस इज आवर लेमन, बट यहाँ से लाइट रे ट्रैवल करता है, राइट? एज सून एज इट रीचेस द सरफेस इट इज गोइंग टू बेंड. जब वो बेंड होगा हम इसको बैकवर्ड प्रोड्यूस करेंगे, तो वो लाइट हमें यहाँ से आता हुआ दिखेगा. सो इंस्टेड की इसका अपर पार्ट यहाँ है, वो हमें यहाँ पे अपीयर होता है. तो फिर ये हमें ओवरऑल, और यही इस पोर्शन से भी होगा, इससे भी होगा, इससे भी होगा, इससे भी होगा, तो ये ओवरऑल हमें bigger in size appear होता है. Explanation is again the same, that this happened because of the refraction of light. Lemon appears to be bigger because the ray of light traveling from glass to air, see from glass to air, bends away from the normal at the surface of separation of the two medium. The refracted ray appears to come from a point higher above and hence appear to be, the lemon appear to be bigger in size. Okay. So कभी भी साइज में कुछ चेंजेस देता है वो, या फिर अपरेंट हाइट में किसी ऑब्जेक्ट के चेंज देता है वो, या उसका शेप में कुछ चेंजेस देता है, देन ऑल दैट इज बिकॉज ऑफ रिफ्रैक्शन. Okay, so they can ask any type of question. Usually the examiner पूछता that is three types, three पे based होता है, या तो this lemon वाला, या तो this ink dot वाला, और the pencil one that we've already done in the previous lectures. Okay, apart from this they don't usually ask anything else. But अगर कभी कुछ पूछ लिया then you must be sure कि ये refraction पे based है. And whenever you start writing your answer, then ये first statement that does happen because of refraction is very important. First thing. Second thing, this ray diagram is very very important to draw it. Okay, because the moment the examiner sees your ray diagram, he is sure कि भैया आता है इसको, and once he is sure कि you know the answer, you will easily fetch the marks, right? So कभी कभी अगर हमारे write up part में थोड़ा mistake भी हो जाता है ना, but you have drawn the diagram correctly, but don't take it for granted, तो marks मिल जाते हैं. So you know, you should know how to draw the ray diagram. This arrow should be perfectly marked कि light कहाँ से कहाँ जा रहा है. Okay, moving on to the next question 5. That how will you distinguish between a concave and a convex lens without touching them? आप छू नहीं सकते. अगर हम छू सकते तो हम बता देते कि bulged out portion है तो क्या होगा, bulged in है तो क्या होगा. So if it is bulged outwards, that means it's a convex lens. If it is bulged inwards, that means it's a concave lens. But now you cannot touch it. You have to simply distinguish. Then what we see? We try and look at the pages of the book with the help of the lens. Okay. अगर इतना क्लोजली हम रखते हैं, कैन सी ये लेंस है और इतना क्लोज हमने उसको बुक से रखा है, इफ ऐसा कुछ अपीयर होता है, कैसा अपीयर हो रहा है यहाँ पे, मैग्नीफाई, तो फिर वो कॉन्वेक्स लेंस ही होगा, क्योंकि कॉन्केव लेंस तो हमेशा डिमिनिश्ड इमेज बनाता है, बट इफ दे अपीयर टू बी स्मॉलर, डिमिनिश्ड होता है, तो इट इज गोइंग टू बी कॉन्केव. Right? So concave lens always produces diminished image. So if we try and look at the pages of the book through the lens, keeping the lens close to the page, and if the letters appears to be diminished, then it is going to be concave. If they appear to be enlarged, it is going to be convex in nature. Moving ahead to the next question 6. There are two lenses of power plus 3 diopters, 3.5 diopter. So it's given that power of a lens, which is because there are two powers. So we are denoting one power by P1, then another one can be denoted by P2. So first power is 3.5 diopters, then other one is minus 2.5 diopters. Keep in mind that you are substituting the values along with the sign given. Now the two lenses are placed in contact with each other. Find the power and the focal length of the lens combination. Do you understand what the lens combination is? When we are going to combine two different lenses to obtain one definite power. राइट। तो हमें लेंस को कंबाइन करके एक पावर निकालना है और फोकल लेंथ निकालना है उस पर्टिकुलर लेंस का। ओके, नाउ वी हैव लर्न दिस कि जब भी हमें टोटल पावर कैलकुलेट करना होता है, वी जस्ट हैव टू अलजेब्रिकली फाइंड आउट द सम ऑफ ऑल द पावर्स। सो P1 plus P2 plus goes on, यहाँ पे 2 है तो वी आर टेकिंग P1 plus P2, बट वी आर गोइंग टू सब्स्टिट्यूट इट along with the sign convention. So 3.5 plus minus 2.5, plus minus will become minus, so power of the combination is going to be 1 diopters. Now we have the power. We know that there is a link between power and focal length, which is power is equals to 1 by focal length. But 1 by focal length will only be considered when the focal length is in meters. If you are going to consider in centimeter, then it will become 100 by f, right? Here I am taking in meters, so 1 by f I have written. क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो फोकल लेंथ विल 1 बाय पावर 1 है तो फोकल लेंथ इज ऑफ 1 मीटर. सो द पावर ऑफ द कॉम्बिनेशन इज 1 डायोप्टर and the focal length is 1 meter. This answer line is very very important. इसको underline भी कर देना. It becomes more visible to the examiner. You will easily fetch mark. One thing. Second thing, आंसर लाइन लिखना बहुत जरूरी होता है. जस्ट डायरेक्टली थोड़ा जल्दी से उसका काम हो जाता है एग्जामिनर का चेकिंग में, तो आपको इजीली मार्क्स मिलता है. ओके, moving ahead to the next question. Question number 7. The absolute refractive indices of glass and water are 3 by 2 and 4 by 3 respectively. The moment you read a value, you have to note it down. See, absolute बोल रहे हैं, इसका मतलब क्या है कि हम किसके रेस्पेक्ट में बात कर रहे हैं? एयर के रेस्पेक्ट में. This we have learned in theory that जब भी हम एयर के रेस्पेक्ट में बात करते हैं, we need not to mention it. Absolute बोला है हमने. So जब मैं n of g लिखती हूँ, that is self understood that one of the medium taken is air, or it's a absolute refractive index of glass. They're giving the glass as 3 by 2, फिर water लिखा है तो उसके बाद वाला water का होगा, and that of water is 4 by 3. If the speed of light in the glass is 2 into 10 raised to power 8 meter per second, then calculate the speed of light in vacuum and water. So speed of light in glass हमें दिया है, that is 2 into 10 raised to power 8. We have to calculate the speed of light in vacuum and in water. So there were two parts in the question, so we have written it as A and B. जब भी कुछ calculate करना होता है, you have to think of the formulas that you've learned in the theory part. ठीक है? So अगर हमें calculate करना है speed of light, तो see refractive index given है, speed of light calculate करना है, एक ही formula पढ़ा है, that refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1 is equals to speed of light in medium 1 upon speed of light in medium 2. अभी देखो तुम्हें वैक्यूम में ये करना है, स्पीड ऑफ लाइट को कैलकुलेट करना है, राइट? सो व्हाट इज द फॉर्मूला दैट वी आर गोइंग टू यूज? ऑफ कोर्स वी आर गोइंग टू यूज द रिफ्रैक्टिव इंडेक्स का फॉर्मूला, बिकॉज रिफ्रैक्टिव इंडेक्स का इन्फॉर्मेशन दिया है. अभी थिंक कि मैम दो रिफ्रैक्टिव इंडेक्स दिए, अब हम कौन सा चूज करें? सो बेटा वो वाला चूज करो जिसमें स्पीड ऑफ लाइट उस मीडियम का दिया है. सो वी हैव स्पीड ऑफ लाइट इन ग्लास, सो वी आर गोइंग टू चूज द रिफ्रैक्टिव इंडेक्स ऑफ ग्लास, राइट? सो रिफ्रैक्टिव इंडेक्स ऑफ ग्लास का मतलब क्या होगा? स्पीड ऑफ लाइट इन एयर और इन वैक्यूम अपॉन स्पीड ऑफ लाइट इन ग्लास, दैट इज C by V, राइट? सो रिफ्रैक्टिव इंडेक्स ऑफ ग्लास is equals to speed of light in vacuum upon speed of light in glass. So 3 by 2, refractive index of this thing glass is given to us as 3 by 2 is equals to C upon Vg is 2 into 10 raised to power 8. ठीक है, so ये 3 by 2 को मैंने इधर लिखा, ये डिनोमिनेटर में था, क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो कॉमन न्यूमरेटर, 2 cancels out, C is equals to 3 into 10 raised to power 8. Ma'am, what is C? I told you that whenever you consider speed of light in vacuum or in air, it becomes C rather than V. Okay, so speed of light in vacuum is 3 into 10 raised to power 8 meter per second. तो फर्स्ट पार्ट तो हो गया. अब हमें क्या करना है? स्पीड ऑफ लाइट इन वाटर वी हैव टू फाइंड. सी जिस भी मीडियम की बात करते हैं उसका रिफ्रैक्टिव इंडेक्स तो वी हैव टू टेक. So because you're talking about the speed of light in water, we are going to consider the refractive index of water, right? So देखो, again we are going to apply the same formula that refractive index is equals to speed of light in vacuum upon speed of light in medium. पर ये vacuum और medium कब होता है? जब we are talking about absolute refractive index. Okay? Now, since you have to take water, so refractive index of water is equals to C by VW, that means speed of light in water. Substitute करें इसका वैल्यू, so 4 by 3, see this is 4 by 3 is equals to C, अभी we have calculated 3 into 10 raised to power 8 upon VW. So VW कितना होगा? 3 into 3 into 10 raised to power 8, अपॉन 4 क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई कर देंगे हम, because this we have to calculate VW, speed of light in water, that should be numerator, rest everything should be other side. So जो numerator में होता है वो denominator में जाता है, जो denominator में होता है that comes in numerator. Once you solve this, it will come out to be 2.25 meter per. So speed of light in vacuum is 3 into 10 raised to power 8 meter per second, and that in water is 2.25 into 10 raised to power 8 meter per. I hope this is clear to you, huh? And this question, minded dear students, is very, very important from the exam point of view. Question number 7, very important. They ask this type of question in the exam, और ये तो उनका personal favorite question है बोर्ड, ठीक है. सो अच्छे से समझ में आ गया. क्विकली रिकैप कर लेते हैं इस क्वेश्चन का जल्दी से. हमें 2 रिफ्लेक्टिव इंडेक्स दिए थे, बिकॉज दे आर सेइंग एब्सोल्यूट, दैट मींस वन ऑफ द मीडियम इज गोइंग टू बी एयर. ग्लास है, उसका 3/2 है, वाटर का 4/3 है. Speed of light in glass दिया 2 into 10 raised to power 8 meter per second. We have to calculate speed of light in vacuum and in water. Speed of light and refractive index का एक ही relation होता है, which is refractive index is equals to speed of light in medium 1 upon speed of light in medium 2. 1 और 2 कैसे decide करते हैं? From wherever the light is traveling, that becomes your medium 1, and wherever the refraction is happening, that becomes your medium 2. Okay? So abhi we have to calculate in vacuum, but according to the given information, we have the speed of light in glass and refractive index of glass. Same medium choose kar lo. So we are going to choose glass. We're going to substitute. We're going to get the speed of light in vacuum here. Then we have to find out the speed of light in water. Again, we are going to use the formula refractive index of water wala. Why? Because water ka we have to calculate. We'll substitute the values. We've already calculated speed of light in vacuum here. We'll substitute it, cross multiply, solve, and get the answer. Don't forget to write down the answer line, and don't forget to write down this unit. Okay? So I hope this is clear to you. Moving on to the next question. Question number 8. Again, this is very important. To find the image distance for varying object distances. Is this clear? हमें निकालना है image distance. For what? When you move the object from one place to another, and the type of lens is a convex lens. We have to talk in convex lens. जिसका focal length 15 centimeter. Okay? So there is a convex lens whose focal length is 15 centimeter. And we have to talk about various image distance. We are taking object at different distances and trying to locate the image distance. A student obtains on a screen a sharp image of the bright object by placing it at 20 centimeter distance from the lens. Now first उसने क्या करा? 20 centimeter पे the student is keeping the object, and he is getting a very sharp image on the screen. Okay, that means it's a real image because we are obtaining on the screen. Now after that he gradually moved the object away from the lens. मतलब वो 20 centimeter से बाहर चला गया वो. And each time he tried to focus the image on the screen. Okay, is the question clear? So I'll repeat the question. Question ऐसा था, हमें फाइंड आउट करना है वेरियस इमेज डिस्टेंसेस जब हम ऑब्जेक्ट को अलग अलग डिस्टेंस पे रखते हैं. इन केस ऑफ अ कॉन्वेक्स लेंस जिसका फोकल लेंथ 15 सेंटीमीटर. In the first case, the student was trying to obtain the image of an object which was placed at 20 centimeter. After that, he moved the object away from the lens and try and focus the image. Now what would happen? First question, in which direction, towards or away from the lens, does he move the screen to focus the object? See, अभी अगर उसने object distance को change किया है तो image distance definitely change होगा. तो अगर if I want the image to on the screen again, I have to move the screen. So they're asking in which direction should the screen be moved. First I'm explaining you all the parts of the question. Part B, when the object distance is changed, how would the size of the image would change? Part C, at what distance should I keep the object so that the image is of magnification -1? And part D, how does the intensity of the image change as the object goes away and away from the lens? So part 1 का answer क्या होगा? See, you are moving the object away. When you move the object away, image come closer to the lens. So that means if the image come closer to the lens, the screen has to be moved towards the lens. So here in this case, the screen has to be moved towards the lens in order to obtain the image. Now, we know that if the object is very far, let us consider that one case like the object is at infinity. Then we are going to get a very small image. So if you move the object away from the lens, then the size of the image decreases. So size decreases, but the distance distance also decreases. The image distance also decreases as you move away the object. Now we know that if we have to obtain the magnification -1, right? That means the object distance, the size of the object should be equal to the size of the image, which we know can only be obtained when the object is at 2f. Now, because at 2, when the object is kept at 2f, the image is also obtained at 2f and the size is also the same. So we know that the focal length here in this case is 15. So the focal length is 15. We have to do twice the focal length. That means nearly 30 centimeter. If we keep the object, we can get the magnification as -1. The last part, how would the intensity change as you move the object away? See, object को दूर ले जाओगे, so image come closer to the lens. If the image comes closer and closer, the intensity increases. Is it clear? So just as if you take the object away from the lens, image come closer to the lens, the size of the image decreases and the intensity increases. I hope this is clear. Moving ahead to the question number 9. On entering in a medium from air. Okay, is it clear from where we are traveling from air to a medium? That means from a rarer medium to a denser medium. So उससे क्या होगा? Speed will reduce. Speed कैसे reduce हुआ? The speed of the light become half of its value in air. So whatever it was traveling in air, the speed is going to be half. So we have to find out the refractive index of that medium with respect to air. Okay, this is the given situation. Given that speed of light in a medium is half of the speed of light in air. We know we represent this by c, so v is equals to half c, and we have to calculate the refractive index of medium. Okay. Now we know that the formula of refractive index is c by v, correct? Now refractive index we have to calculate c, we don't know, we're substituting c as c. Now we know that we can substitute it as half c, right? I'm substituting it as half c. So see, this is one fraction divided by another fraction. We know that division converts into multiplication and denominator में जो fraction होता है उसका reciprocal हो जाता है. So if it is c divided by 1 by 2c, it would be c multiplication 2 by c, right? So c cancels out, so we are left with 2. That means the refractive index of the medium with respect to air is 2. Okay, so whenever you get a formula of refractive index, see there are only two. Whenever you get a question related to refractive index, there are only two formulas that you can apply. One is in terms of speed of light and another one is in terms of angle, that is sin I by sin r. वो वाला sin I by sin r के question usually कम आता है exam में to substitute and solve it. It generally नहीं आता है. There is another logical question which comes on the angle that we're going to discuss in the next lecture. But अभी speed of light related ही maximum question आते हैं. So remember this formula nicely. Substitute the value, solve, and you'll get the answer. Moving ahead to the second part of this question, a glass slab is made up of a material of refractive index n1. Okay, so what they are saying that there is a glass slab जिसका refractive index n1 है and you are keeping that glass slab in a medium जिसका refractive index n2 है. Now a light ray incident on the slab, you have to draw the path of the rays of the light if, and there are three paths. First, अगर this medium, the glass slab the refractive index is more than the medium in which you are keeping. दोनों same हो गए. And the third is that the glass slab का refractive index कम है as compared to that of the medium in which you are keeping the glass slab. Now what would happen in this situation? So let us consider this is a glass slab, ठीक है, जिसका refractive index कितना था? n1. You are keeping it in n2, right? और फिर क्या होता है? Light ray incident होती है. तो अभी क्या होगा? अभी see scenario क्या है? That n1 is greater. That means the light is traveling from rarer to denser. If it travels from rarer to denser, it will move towards normal. So see, ये ऐसा path हो गया light ray का, correct? This was the original path and this is the new path of the light ray. Now it is going to emerge out of the glass slab again from denser to rarer, so it is going to move away from the normal. So this is the path of the light ray. So ऐसा कुछ question दिखा, so don't worry, you have the concept with you, you can solve it very easily also. ठीक है, so हमें सिर्फ इतना पता होना चाहिए कि जैसे ही light travel करती है from rarer to denser, it moves towards the normal. From denser to rarer, it moves away from the normal. That's it. Now if the refractive index of both are same, उस glass slab का भी और जिस medium में आपने रखा है वो भी, तो क्या होगा? if this is the refractive index of glass slab N1 और ये medium का N2, it is going to pass undeviatedly, because जब refractive indexes same होता है तो light ray undeviated path follow करता है. This is the condition of no refraction, one of the conditions. The other conditions would be कि light ray normally pass करे, right? So ये undeviatedly pass हो गया. थर्ड केस में क्या होगा, दैट जिस मीडियम में आपने रखा है उसका रिफ्लेक्टिव इंडेक्स ज्यादा है, सो द लाइट रे इन दिस केस इज पासिंग फ्रॉम डेंसर टू रेयरर, so it will move away from the normal. So if this was the light ray, it will move away from the normal. Look at this, right? And again it is moving from rarer to denser, it will move towards the normal. So these are the path of the light ray when it travels from one medium to another. I hope this is clear. So it was a simple theory question asked in a little twisted manner. So there may be certain questions जो exam में ऐसे twisted manner में they can ask you. But don't worry, just think about the concept that we have learned here. Okay? Moving ahead to the question number 10. Starting. Question is, you're given a convex lens of focal length 10 centimeter. So we'll write that the given information is convex lens, uska focal length 10 centimeter. If you want, now what you can do, you can mention at the top which lens they are using. Okay? Now where would you place an object? Now read the question carefully. Where would you place an object so as to get a real, inverted, highly enlarged image of the object? Three criteria: real, inverted, highly enlarged. See, in such situation और तो कुछ information ही नहीं है. That means आपका theoretical concept हमारे ray diagram should be very very clear to you. Zones में जैसे जैसे हमने cases में learn किया था अभी तक you should learn them thoroughly. Fit हो जाना चाहिए till date in your mind. Okay? So now अब क्या होगा? This is the case that अगर आप उसको focus पे ही रखते हो तो आपको real, inverted और highly enlarged image मिलता है, right? That means in this case, where would you obtain the image to be highly enlarged, real, inverted? When you keep it at focus. Focus मतलब 10 centimeter पर, right? अच्छा, अगर उसने ऐसा पूछा तो question में, where would you place an object to get a real, inverted and the image of the same size? Then what we will say, then the image should be placed, object should be placed at 2f, right? Which is approximately at 20. Got that? So here the answer is, to obtain the real, inverted, highly enlarged image, the object must be kept at focus, that is 10 centimeters. Moving to the last question for the day. A convex lens of focal length 10 centimeter. Again, there is a convex lens. Jiska focal length 10 centimeter is placed at a distance of 12 centimeter from a wall. So there is a wall. Let's say this is a wall. Okay. So if this is a wall, or this is the wall. This thing is a wall, right? And you're keeping a lens here. So this distance is 12 centimeter. Okay. Now, and the focal length of the lens is 10 centimeter. You have to calculate the distance from the lens, where an object to be placed. That means u has to be calculated. Object distance हमें calculate करना. So as to form its distant real image on the wall. अभी ये लेंस है, ये वॉल है, कितना डिस्टेंस है इन दोनों के बीच में? 12 सेंटीमीटर. बट वॉल पे क्या हो रहा है? फ्रॉम द क्वेश्चन वी कैन सी दैट द image is forming on the wall. So if the image is forming on the wall, that means this is the image distance, right? So distance of the convex lens from the wall is equal to image distance, that is v, which is 12 centimeter, because they're mentioning that a real image is formed on the wall. Clear? So see, everything would be positive here according to sign convention, because this is a convex lens का focal length भी positive होता है, उसका image distance भी positive है, because it's a real image, so it is going to be formed on the other side. Now if we have to find out the object distance, we know that कि हमारे पास अगर focal length है, image distance है, then to find out the object distance, we will have to use lens formula, which is 1 by v minus 1 by u is equals to 1 by f. So 1 by 12 minus 1 by u is equals to 1 by 10. If we take it the other side, and this is other side, this is the situation. Now we just have to take the LCM of 12 and 10, solve it. It will come out to be minus 1 by 60. Now remember, this is 1 by u as minus 1 by 60. We want u. So we have to reciprocate this. But we can't reciprocal only on one side. We have to reciprocal on both the sides. This is a common mistake area. I've been telling this since many lectures. Now you must be through with it. Ki if we are reciprocating one side, we have to reciprocate the other side as well. So u is equals to minus 60 centimeter. That means the object has to be placed on the opposite side as that of the wall at a distance of 60 centimeter so that we can obtain an image on the wall. I hope all these questions are very much clear to you. Thank you so much. And learn them thoroughly, practice them nicely. These are very, very important questions from the exam point of view, as well as once you think about these questions, you are going to open your brain regarding the concept of refraction and the ray diagrams and everything. Okay, keep practicing. Thank you. Bye bye.